Remember those late nights in the 90s waiting for that underground hip-hop beat to drop? The DJ cracking jokes, hyping the tracks, making you feel like you were part of the crew. For many of us, radio wasn't just background noise. It was the heartbeat of hip-hop culture, and one voice stood out. That voice belonged to DJ Lord Sear. Today, the hip-hop world is mourning the loss of the Harlem-born radio legend, whose real name was Steve Watson. DJ Lord Sear has passed away at the age of 54, leaving behind decades of unforgettable moments on the airwaves. For those of us who grew up listening to late-night hip-hop radio, his voice felt like a friend in the room, funny, fearless, and deeply connected to the culture. So today on Xplained Daily, we're remembering the life, the voice, and the legacy of DJ Lord Sear. Born Steve Watson on July 7, 1971 in Harlem, New York, Lord Sear grew up right in the middle of the city that helped give birth to hip-hop itself. Harlem in the 70s and 80s was alive with music, street culture, and creativity. Young Steve Watson absorbed all of it. The beats, the rhymes, the energy of the streets. It shaped the personality that millions of listeners would later come to know as Lord Sear. By the early 1990s, he had already begun making his mark in New York's underground hip-hop scene, working alongside artists like Curious and building connections in the culture. But the real turning point came when he stepped behind the microphone. Lord Sear became a key voice on the legendary Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito show on WKCR. Columbia University's radio station. If you remember that era, you know just how important that show was. This wasn't polished commercial radio. It was raw, authentic hip-hop. Straight from New York's underground scene, future legends like the notorious Biggie, Nas, and the Wu-Tang Clan all appeared there early in their careers. And right in the middle of it all was Lord Sear, bringing humor, energy, and a personality that listeners instantly connected with. He wasn't just spinning records, he was creating a vibe. Listeners remember the jokes, the banter, the late-night conversations that made it feel like you were hanging out with friends rather than listening to a broadcast. For many fans, those nights defined the golden age of hip-hop radio. As the music industry evolved in the 2000s, Lord Sear continued to grow with it. He joined Eminem's Anger Management Tour, bringing his DJ skills to massive live audiences. Then came one of the biggest chapters of his career, when Eminem launched the SiriusXM hip-hop channel Shade 45 in 2004. Lord Sear became one of its most recognizable voices. For more than 2 decades, he hosted shows, including the All Out Show and the Lord Sear Special, bringing his signature mix of humor, honesty, and hip-hop knowledge to satellite radio listeners around the world. Fans tuned in not just for the music, but for Lord Sear himself. He interviewed artists, shared stories from the culture, and kept the spirit of hip-hop alive in a rapidly changing industry. And his influence extended beyond radio. Gamers may remember hearing his voice in Grand Theft Auto 3, where he played a DJ on the in-game radio station Game FM. He also appeared on Big Pun's album Intro, another moment that cemented his place within hip-hop history. But for many fans, Lord Sear was more than a DJ. He felt like family. On March 11, 2026, SiriusXM confirmed the heartbreaking news of his passing. In a statement, the company said Lord Sear was more than a voice on the radio. He was a force, a friend, and family to so many. At this time, no official cause of death has been publicly confirmed. The news shocked many in the hip-hop community. Just days before his passing, Lord Sear had reportedly been speaking with DJ Premier, who later shared his disbelief online. Tributes quickly began pouring in from artists, DJs, and fans across the world. Rapper Fat Joe shared a heartfelt message. Remembering Lord Sear's influence over the years, artists like E40, Hit Boy, and many others posted their condolences, acknowledging the voice that had helped shape hip-hop radio for a generation. Fans also began sharing their own memories, stories of listening to Shade 45 late at night, stories of discovering new music through Lord Sear's shows, stories of laughter, energy, and connection. For many listeners, his broadcasts were more than entertainment. They were moments in time, moments that connected people. For those of us who grew up during hip-hop's rise, losing a voice like Lord Sear feels deeply personal. He represented a bridge between hip-hop's raw underground beginnings and the global culture it has become today. But while the voice may be gone, the legacy is not. The beats he played, the artists he supported, and the culture he helped build will continue to inspire new generations. As we remember DJ Lord Sear today, one thing is clear. Hip-hop radio has lost one of its most unforgettable voices. Rest in power, DJ Lord Sear. And if his voice was part of your late-night soundtrack, take a moment to share your memories in the comments. This is Xplained Daily, honoring the icons who shaped our world.